and virgins and pimps and stuff.
Pimps and stuff.
Welcome. It's been so long. Welcome back. Shut up.
Shut up.
Welcome back to Krown's magical derp cave.
The derp cave. Elsa fucking up everything to start this one off, and I do want to wish everyone nice and healthy and happy. What day is it? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I've been late all around on basically everything I've been trying to do today, so I'm just running around trying to set up my charts as of right now. And unfortunately, I lost my damn place. I lost my damn place before I did get into this one. So I was taking a morning dump, man, and the dump turned into a slump. And then, well, before you know it, it's almost time to stream, and here we are. Here we are. Good morning, everyone. What's up, Mr. Filson? You're early, baby. You're early. Dad Rackus, good morning to you as well. Bit quiet, chat. Seems to be moving quite fast to me, man. Holy shit. Anthony Michael, good morning, sir. Is the sound wrecked? The sound is there, man. The sound is, it's very quiet. Let's try this. Let's turn up the old rap voice there. How do you like that? You want some more nails on the fucking chalkboard? I can do that for you too. The audio is soft. I'm soft, man. I'm feeling soft today. Should be good to go now, however. What's up, man? What's up, Farhan? Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. An actual member of the cave that I've actually met. An actual member of the cave that I've actually met. Beautiful, man. Fucking beautiful. Yenko's Gold Adventures sounds good. Beautiful, man. Glad to hear. No ice chewing today. I'm actually still working on my coffee here, so we'll get some ice soon. We'll get some ice very, very soon. What's up, Mr. Alex Switch? Another member of the cave that I met. Good man, good friend, and good to see you as well. Feminine audio. It's very, very soft, very flaccid audio today. We need to turn that up. We need to invigorate it. And let me just make sure that. Okay. I am starting to get everything settled over here, which is good. Fucking finally, man. Jesus, that was a little bit of a concern. But as we do move through this one, maybe I'll actually just show what I'm doing. This could be interesting. I'm actually setting up one of the strategies as of right now. We have something over here, but it's not exactly right just yet. So you know what? I'm gonna do this during the opening ceremonies, maybe to make this a little bit more interesting. Last night I actually watched a little bit of the new Top Gun movie. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, actually. It's surprising to see Tom Cruise still looks like he's fucking 40 or some shit. Crypto Man says, your audio isn't the only thing that's flaccid around here. Well, let me help you out, sir. Let's get in some strategy action and get those flaccid pinors nice and strong and girthy, because there is a setup staring us in the face. If I can actually do this properly. So let me adjust a few things over here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to adjust the take profit metric of this so that it actually makes sense. Or we'll just operate better. But as of right now, it looks like we actually do have a working strategy here. The real question is, how can we make it better? How can we make it better? Hey, Krown, teach me, bro. I'm just here talking about what I'm doing, man. Whatever you learn from this is what you're fucking doing yourself. Sam Fregnosi says it's a Scientology fountain of youth. Indeed it is. Do you guys want to know a secret about Elsa? Oh, I'm going to embarrass the shit out of her right now. She's probably shaking in her boots in the background there. Do you want to know a secret about Elsa? Do you want to know what she does every night and what she loves to do every night? What she looks forward to every night? Well, I'll tell you. Should we go on YouTube? She loves this. She fucking loves it. She can't get enough of this shit. She watches like an hour or two of this every night. Okay, so she goes on YouTube on the main TV when it's late at night. We're just trying to cool down, and for 2 hours straight, she will watch a variation of these 3 keywords. It is either fat cringe TikTok compilation or woke cringe TikTok compilation, or her new favorite, which is soy boy cringe TikTok compilation. She loves it. She just fucking loves it. Like, she can't get enough of this shit. It's hilarious. I mean, it is kind of funny, honestly, like, to see the delusions in some of these people, like, just how they go about life. It's so fucking crazy, man. Whatever goes on TikTok, like, it needs to be monitored immediately. Like, it needs to be stopped. Whatever's going on there, it needs to be stopped for everyone's safety. I think at this exact moment, it's too much. Whatever the fuck's going on over there, it's not right. It's just not fucking right. Okay, now I think we got a working strategy here that actually is firing off. There we go. Oh, actually, that's pretty fucking good. even better than what I was just looking at. Much better, actually. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I do want to adjust this a little bit more, just see if we can make it a little bit better. See what 95 takes us to. It's kind of high. I don't think it's actually going to improve things, but 2 million was holy shit. Did get better. Wow. All right. Damn. This is the strategy of extremes here. But in this case, I'll actually go back down to 90 because it is giving more frequent entries and exits. So you know what, I'm going to stick with that one, and that's what we're going to run off of for this particular video. I do want to make sure, I do want to double check a few things over here as well. Maybe if we add Sunday trading, this will improve things. Let's just see. Let's keep an open mind with this one. Usually it won't, but but in some cases will. Toby Liang says, Googled soy boy. Sounds fun though. So soy boys is something that I learned. It's like a new thing as well, a soy boy. So I can explain it to you actually from the internet. So this is from the internet. A soy boy is, well, these guys who were, I guess, born as men, but they exhibit feminine traits because they consume an overabundance of the soy product, the soya bean, which actually feminizes you. In fact, it is said that it increases your probability of developing bitch tits. So yeah, the soy boys actually eat soy. That's the issue. They don't eat enough meat, so they don't get enough meat in their diet, so their penises get very, very soft, very flaccid, not very strong. Therefore, soy and, well, oh, actually, this did improve results right here. So, you know what? We're going to run with this one. Elsa said, I thought that they were just vegans. No, but they're probably, actually, that's another good topic that we can look at maybe tonight. Vegan cringe compilation TikTok. It's going to be really good, man. Really fucking good. Good morning to you as well, Snoxer. How you doing, man? It looks like we're set up over here. Now I want to make sure that my notes are steady because, like I said, let's get into this. I got into the office today a little bit later than what I desired, so I'm kind of just rushing around to set up here to make sure that we're on time. But I think I kind of got it now, which is good, which is really, really good. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I think we're good over here as well. Let's see. Okay, it's Tuesday, everyone's favorite day, I guess. And okay, we got that. Yes. Okay, we got this over here. Also, yes. Good. Good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot to talk about that. Okay. Bearish engulfing. Yeah, we should probably talk about that. Confirmed. So probably means something. And bear div. Okay, nice. All right. Okay. So we have that. What about a weekly? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is actually starting to come into a pretty good analysis all around. All right. I was worried about today, but I think we're good. I think we're actually pretty good. Enjoy your meal, Elsa. Yeah, she's having some eggs I just made her. It's really good. I'm actually a professional egg maker. In fact, I make them for myself every morning. Really fucking good, man. Extra salt, pretty much only salt. Michael Richard says, you need to give Elsa her own political/cultural commentary channel. That would be her Twitter, okay? Elsa has some very unhinged, very far right-wing takes on Twitter that you can check out. I think Elsa says I'm not far right, I'm normal, but I think my dad would consider you as far right. Elsa met my dad, and my dad's like, he's definitely on the left side. It was very interesting to hear them go back and forth. Anyways, let's see. Yes, this is Elsa's profile, right? Oh wow, you're above 1,000 followers. You're getting quite popular. You haven't posted in a while. Yes, let's see some of these unhinged takes though. Let's see. Study: young men prefer playing video games over casual sex. Can you blame us? Yes. It is what it is. Where are your unhinged takes? Why? What is all the? What is all this box? This is AI Elsa right here. Nobody cares about me. Mina. That's how you say I in Finnish. But okay, well, Well, it's there. You can figure it out. Oh wait, I'm not even on the chart view. You can't even see it. Here we go. Yep, she's posting my boxing videos. That was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun day. But you can find her here, Elsa Toshi, or at Queen Elsa 69. That's her Twitter if you want some more far right wing unhinged takes about about gender issues. Especially donate hinges. There you go. Got to keep up that kill to death ratio. Indeed, my man. Indeed. Mr. RM, we'll get to that a little bit later with Solana. Thank you, man. I'm really proud of that Spartan helmet. I actually got it in Greece. I got it in Santorini. Mr. Alex Switch was there, actually. He was there when I bought that. It's a real one. It's actually made out of bronze. I'm so proud of it, man. I fucking love it. Alongside all my toys. Camera focus, yeah, having a bit of issues with that, but you know what, today's not the day to fuck with it. Mati says, did she vote for the true fans? Oh, you must be Finnish. Actually, regarding your name, you probably are Finnish. She did not, actually. I think she voted for the entrepreneur party. Probably better for me too. Oh God. All right, let me just finish this this caffeine. Let me chew some of these ice caps, and then we'll get into some actual analysis. Love Santorini, nice place. Yeah, man, Santorini is just it's otherworldly. Not only did I meet Alex Switch there, I actually met Elliot from Elio Trades as well. Great guy, good friend. And man, we just had the best fucking view for this morning coffee session one day. It was amazing, man. It really does look like the pictures. It really does look like the pictures. That sounds fucking retarded. Sorry, I mean redacted. But goddamn, man, it is just absolutely picturesque. It is unreal. Absolutely fucking unreal. Whole family enjoys her giggles. Yeah. I enjoy Elsa's giggles as well. They're really, really nice. Anyways, I want to make sure that I got my chats ready over here. It looks like Elsa's already stacking them up from Tom Stockton and RM. I'm almost done with this coffee, so we're getting there. What's up, Elliot? Good times, Krown. Good times. A different Elliot I met, but good to meet you as well, sir. GM, Mr. Banana Man. And hey, Krown, come to Hong Kong. I've actually never even thought of Hong Kong, to be honest with you, man. I don't really know anything about it, man. I do think going to China would be sweet, but from what I understand, Hong Kong and China are different things. Unfortunately, dim sum sounds like unnecessary carbohydrates to me, but I'd be happy to eat nonetheless. I do know that Chinese people, or especially Hong Kong, I think Hong Kong is one of the highest consumers of meat in the whole world, and they do actually have one of the longest lifespans as well, which is rather interesting. Redacted Ramello, baby. There you go. How about Taiwan? I don't know anything about it. Just that there's fuck off. But all I know is that a lot of our computer chips come from there, so perhaps worth checking out. Show us the way, Krown. We're gonna get to it soon enough, man. Soon enough. I just need to prepare over here. Got some nice ice now. Come to Krakow in Poland. Actually, I really do want to go to Krakow, and Elsa does as well. I was actually gonna bring this up to her yesterday night. I want to go. She wants to visit Auschwitz, actually. No, I do not. No, you don't. Elsa doesn't focus. Yep. There she is right there. She even follows me. It's really good. You like carne asada burritos? I do, but my asshole does not, unfortunately. Last time I had one was at Chipotle. Not real Mexican food, I know, but it is fucking good, man. You have to admit. That is one of the things that I probably miss about America. I think Elsa misses it as well. Does Elsa deny the Holocaust? No, I don't think she's that far right. That's where you start doing loops over there. You just start to lose your fucking mind. What's up, Mr. Jamonda? And what else do we see? Crypto Carpenator. ASMR coffee sip. Yeah, man, we're almost there. I'm very close now. The Chipotle subreddit is fire. Let's see. Crypto Ricardo says, Poland rocks, but my favorite country in Eastern Europe is Hungary. I actually lived in Budapest for a while. I bet you got cheap flights on those low-cost airlines for Budapest. Yeah, man, the airlines industry here, I think, is unregulated, so you can get like $50 tickets, you know, for like Europe to Europe country travel. It's going to be peasant seat, of course, but yeah, man, it's really, really, really easy to do. And Poland's actually, or Poland and Budapest are, you know, kind of right around the corner, anyways. But yeah. I lived in Budapest for quite some time. I loved it. It is really a beautiful city, actually. Like people don't know about it yet as well, so it's still kind of underground, and you don't really get like, you know, insane amount of tourism there. But it's just so fucking cool looking, man. Like you see these ancient castles, you see all of the amazing architecture that they have. The people there, you know, the younger generation speaks English pretty well, so it's very easy to get around. And the prices are very reasonable, especially compared to other European nations, man. Yeah, man, Sam, we'll get to that soon enough. Actually, I'm quite interested to look at euro versus yen. Wait, your airline industry is regulated? No, the airline industry is not regulated here, I believe, for Europe to Europe country travel. That's why it's so cheap. But also, you know, it's bad quality as well in terms of what you actually get. So yeah, everyone and their mother would be talking about my stinky Linky. Indeed. In fact, actually, I do believe Link is doing something interesting recently. We can check on that one today. Yeah, Wizz Air and Ryanair, shit like that. There's always issues with them though, so you know it's not as good as it sounds, honestly. But hey, if you just want to travel like quite cheaply, it is possible to do here. People also take the trains as well around, which is actually a really fun way to do it. I did that when I was younger. Anyways, okay, I think we're just about good to go. I'm making sure that all my notes are in order over here. Good morning, Mr. I think those are Hebrew characters. I don't know how to pronounce them, but good morning to you, sir. Shalom maybe is a proper word. Mati says, I'm curious, Krown, have you met Richard Hart? Actually, I have not, but you know who has met Richard Hart? She's actually in this room right now. Richard Hart met Elsa when Elsa was coming out of like a, I think he tried hitting on her like when she was out with her friends one night. And
He just liked my purse.
yes, okay, that's called hitting on someone. Elsa said, he didn't hit on me, he just said that he liked my purse. Like, do you think guys actually give a fuck about your purse? For real, it's, hi, I like your purse, would you like to fuck now? Is it gonna be fuck or not in this scenario? Can you give me some fuck or not? Give me the sex now. Is it sex or not? All right, it's not a nice purse anymore. Krown, the difference between Link's normal price and then Grayscale's G-Link, I didn't ask actually, is insane. Oh, I thought you were going to explain it to me. Any thoughts on the huge price difference? I don't know. It obviously has something to do with the way that they handle their fund, which I'm not familiar with at all. But yeah, man, so Richard Hart actually apparently did live in Finland or is living in Finland. I don't know. I didn't know this, but we've been living in the same country for, you know, years now, which is kind of funny. We haven't really met ourselves. You know, he's an interesting guy. That's all I'll say about that, man. I'm actually curious what's happening to him now, because last I heard, you know, the SEC was on his case, but who knows? It's, as the Hexers believe, it's just more marketing, Price is gonna moon now. Krown, did you start working out after Richard Hart hit on Elsa? Yeah, man, I couldn't handle the swag. No, man, I've actually been working out since I was before I just turned 19. So I've been doing it for almost 15 years now. It's kind of crazy to say. Never really taken any time off as well, man. I love it. I love it. Now I've added boxing as well, so makes it even more fun. Mati says he earned like 15 million euros based on Finnish tax records. That is the fucking craziest thing about Finland. You can look up what people pay for taxes, which is fucking crazy. Like, actually fucking crazy that information is public, because that means that, like, it's like the robber's biggest paradise here. Like, you can just be like, who's rich and who actually has money. Bad news, man. Real bad news. Luckily for me, I pay my taxes to America, and I just say, Finland, you guys have a tax treaty, so leave me alone. How did you grow the hair on your chest? Well, I was born with it, actually. I was literally fucking born with it. Krown, come check out my purse collection in my closet. No problem, man. I'll be right on over. Do you have any cool dance moves as well? Because I know Richard Hart does. You got big competition here, man. Big fucking competition. All right. Who's better dancer, Richard Hart or Trump? Richard Hart's pretty good. He's pretty good. But Trump is just, he's so, regardless of your political thoughts, Trump is, when he starts dancing, you just kind of like him a little bit more. I don't know what to say. I'm not even a Trump fan, but when I see him dance, I'm like, all right, I can vote for him. You know, it's not a big deal. It's actually genius what he's done. Actually fucking genius. All right. After last ice. Machi says, yeah, it's crazy, but Finland is pretty safe. Thankfully, haven't heard of rich people getting kidnapped. Not yet, man, but I do feel like, or at least what I'm told from Finns who've lived their whole life here, things are kind of changing a little bit in Helsinki. But of course, you know, the further out you go, especially into the forest area, like it's going to be pretty fucking safe. When I go to Elsa's parents' house, they don't even bother locking the doors. Like I have an anxiety attack from this. Like I really don't like it actually, but because they live in the middle of fucking nowhere, in Finland. Like their neighbors are a bunch of trees and forests and shit. But still, man, I do not like not fucking locking up the house. Especially at night. That just makes me feel so fucking uncomfortable coming from where I come from. Anyways, Luke Toriano says, bruh, stop eating. You're making me hungry. Sir, I'm eating fucking ice right now, man. I'm literally eating ice. Anyways, if you're super rich, just move to Lapland. I mean, I've actually been to Lapland. I probably wouldn't move there, actually. It's literally just snow. It's literally just fucking snow. Anyways, okay, cool. We are good to go now. I got my notes in order over here. I got my charts in order, I believe, as well. And we'll start recording from there. So actually, let's start it right on over here. Welcome back to the Krown Crypto channel. It's a nice little Tuesday morning as we get ready for this live stream analysis. And on today's video, we're going to be going over actually a Bitcoin setup on the 12-hour time frame that is fired off after this last little dump, which I do believe is gonna be the impetus for catching a lot of people off guard on this current move. Anyways, other than that, as always, I do want to humbly request that if you find this content valuable or in some way useful, please consider liking, subscribing. Obviously helps out the channel and it's quite useful for the good old YouTube right there. Anyways, let's go into the chart view right here. First things first, started off with the daily statistics, and as always, Tuesday, or not always, I mean this might change in the future, but Tuesday is the most likely day for Bitcoin to close positively. If we look at all Tuesday closures throughout the history of Bitcoin, 58.33% did close positively, which is actually by and far away the largest one. Friday's kind of close as well there, I suppose. But on Tuesday, the average return for those positive close has added just over 2%. And in the case that we have seen negative closures, just losing actually just under 2%. So if we play around with today's open, which is 42,500, then 2% on top of current price action would put Bitcoin, for reference, back around 43,400. And of course, Bitcoin were to lose about 2% or 190, that would put Bitcoin on the lows, essentially retesting the low that we have seen thus far at 41,700 for this current range. So you can kind of see the short term range likelihood for today's closures. And from there, we can start to talk about an actual setup here on the 12-hour time frame. You can see the equity curve in the background. I'll blow this up for you right here, right now. This has been tested over 111 trades. See how far back this one goes. I'm going to guess 2018. And wow, sorry, this goes all the way to 2010. So this is basically back tested throughout the full history of Bitcoin. There's only been 111 setups of this on the 12-hour time frame, which is it is a higher term time frame for Bitcoin kind of. And as we can see, the results have been pretty decent with a 66.67. It's like the devil's number right there, percent profitable rate. So what does that imply? That implies that we would expect, well, them more likely to close in this direction. So in this case, what I do want to now focus on is a few of the metrics on this one, because it has fired off at the price of 42,600, which Bitcoin is trading about $100 above as of right now. And what can we expect from this if it is to win out? Well, we can go to the performance summaries for this and see what the average winning trade has produced. And it's actually, holy shit. Okay, this is a surprise. The average winning trade has returned just under 16%. The average losing trade has also returned about the same amount. So this one does have a slightly higher win rate at 66.6% likelihood to win out. So it will have obviously positive returns over time based off of that. But we're talking about big numbers here on average. So if I do look at this one and I do add, what is this, 16% on top of current price action? I mean, technically speaking, Bitcoin does have a higher probability of moving back towards $49,000. That was unexpected. By the same token, if we were to see this one be one of the losers here, What would we expect as far as downside? Well, 16% shaved off the current price action would put Bitcoin down just below 36,000 bucks. Now, on average, we would expect this to take, holy shit, 60 bars for this to play out. So that's a 12-hour time frame. So 60 bars would be 30 days, right? So 30 days from the actual official entry, which was on Saturday the 13th. So we're talking about kind of early-ish February. We expect Bitcoin to be either somewhere closer to 50,000 bucks or down just below 36,000 bucks, basically between now and yeah, about the midpoint of February in this case. So I was actually a little bit surprised to see that. So this is more of a long-term setup right here, to be fair. Doesn't mean it's always going to work out like that. Obviously, we did see a more recent setup right here on the 6th of January being resolved, you know, relatively fast after that on the 8th of January. So just 2 days in between those, or 4 bars. So it's not always going to take 30 days. It's just the average here. And of course, you know, even this one over here, taking significantly less, again, fired off on December 11th, resolved on actually January the 2nd. So actually that was in alignment with those statistics. And I'm guessing this one over here was as well. November 14th, resolved on December 3rd. Yeah, so a little bit more than about 3 weeks right there. So actually pretty close as well, I'd say, within the vicinity of kind of what we do expect. So in this case, you know, we do see that you know, if I want to produce some hopium for the Boolaws here, yeah, there is actually a higher probability of this one testing upside, you know, just based off of that. However, again, I would remind myself to say that, well, let's see, what have the last... when was the last time we saw this one lose? The last time we saw this one lose was back in June. Since then, we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins in a row. And I know that's not necessarily the proper way to be looking at statistics. You do have to look at each and every iteration as its own, as its own thing with a 66.6% probability to win out. But you know, after five wins in a row since your last loss, you know, it wouldn't be super crazy to say that this one's maybe a little bit more likely to lose, but fair enough. You know, we do see something there now. So even without that, however, I would say that Bitcoin is more likely to bounce from this region first to probably 44,500 bucks. What I'm basing that off of is back on over here for the HPDR bands. We can see that on the daily time frame, Bitcoin is closing below the bottom side of the blue of 50% of historic returns range lows, actually closer to the 80% as of right now. And this is coming on declining volatility. Volatility is going to go back into contraction phase, it looks like, from here. And an HPDRO is seemingly kind of bottoming out from this region, indicating that a bounce is likely. The last time that we saw HPDRO this low was back on over in August, actually, late August, on this major low over here. Let me just circle it out and let me get rid of this for right now. But it was back around this region right here of a comparable read. And yeah, things did bounce actually more immediately, about 11%. And then of course from there, you know, market took on over and we did see an overall reversal in this case, you know, leading us up to our current highs. But that initial move is kind of what I'd be looking for over here, and probably initial pushback as well. And if Bitcoin is going to end up being bullish and actually test back up towards 49,000 bucks, which I do think is less likely based off of everything that we've spoken about, especially on Saturday's video and also yesterday's video as well, then I'd be looking for, you know, quick move up, reject, and then later this month / early next month, we do see the downside emerge. So fair enough on that. But for right now, Bitcoin more likely to bounce in the more near term, I would say, anywhere around the low side of the blue 50% of historic returns range lows is fair game. 44,500 bucks basically, between there and the median. And again, I still remain with my overall analysis in the sense that while downside is more likely, I would say that is invalidated and upside is extremely likely, or it's not just extremely likely, like it's fucking valid. If you start to see Bitcoin close daily to about 46,500 bucks, at that point, you know, 49,000 and of course this setup over here playing out kind of becomes a foregone conclusion, and you know, we just be looking for upwards and onwards past 50,000 bucks overall. Again, I think that's extremely unlikely here, but that would be my conditions for kind of deciding on that. Until then, short-term bounce is likely just that, as long as Bitcoin remains below 46,500 bucks. Anyways, moving on now. What else do we have? Yes. So yesterday we spoke about this. Let me just make sure I have the right chart right here. Indeed, I do. And yesterday, we spoke about the 5-day time frame, which was closing last night, and there was a potential for bearish engulfing closure here, as Bitcoin did trade above the prior 5-day high and then closed below the low of that on last night's closure. So again, I am a lot more inclined to say that while Bitcoin probably bounces here towards 44.5, we've probably seen the high of this rally thus far. And this is also going to be accompanied by bearish divergence right here as well, as we do have lower highs on 5-day RSI correlating with these higher highs on price action. So a loss of momentum. And even the 5-day Jewel is also starting to really tick down there. It is not supported by DMI just yet, so that's not a full-on signal, but probably good enough to at least test somewhere around the yellow 21 exponential average, which is just above 39,000 bucks. On top of that, if we go ahead and look at stochastic momentum, I do want to remind myself that on the higher term timeframes, we are seeing, pretty much the stars align in terms of all higher term timeframes signaling, downside. Weekly timeframe still moving down below 46,400. Again, that pivot coming up. Once again here, 5-day timeframe is also going to be upon the new closure, headed down as long as Bitcoin's below 47,500, so even lower than that, even higher than that. At the 2-day timeframe also remains to the downside and loses the bullish control zone as long as Bitcoin's below 46,250, and we can even go to the 2-week in the monthly. The 2-week timeframe, which is closing not at the end of this week, but at the end of the week after that. 47,600, turning down from the critical zone, and monthly time frame, which obviously doesn't close this week, but will close at the end of the month, will turn down below 39,400. So we do kind of see everything in alliance with each other, and I would say that still this likely has the markings of a short-term bounce with rejection and then downside for like a month or two. Downside and sideways really for like a month or two, probably until the end of this quarter. Anyways, I think that's a good place for me to be leaving off on this particular video. I hope that this one served you well. As always, if you are interested in joining on these live streams, which this one's actually ripped exactly from, then you can join in on Tuesday mornings typically, although I might be switching this to Friday. In fact, I'd be curious to know from the community's viewpoint here, do you prefer Tuesday or Friday? Because my schedule might switch around a little bit and Friday might make a little bit more sense. So we'll see what we can do there, but yeah, we'll leave it right there. With that said, as always, wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow. All right, nice one, sirs and zers. I got a few more ice cubes over here, then we'll get to some of these super chats, and then we could just chat it up, just us and the bros. 32,000 inbound. Says Daft Agent. 69. Oh man, that was a good one. Friday live stream, says Patrick Ocean. Tuesday, says Skiing Rooster. Earlier in the week is better. I do think that Tuesday usually is pretty good because a lot of the time we actually have seen breakouts on Monday, but also Friday would be good because Thursday we see a lot, we see a lot of downside movement, which I think is for a lot of people more exciting. So I could every day, says Alex, which I don't think my voice can take it, man. Also, my schedule can't really take it as well. It's that damn crunch that made me hungry. There you go, man. Well, enjoy your chips, sir. Tuesdays and Fridays. This week we actually might do both, but I don't know about that in the future. See how my voice kind of holds up. Maybe I'll have some honey later. When Fiboswani, actually was just speaking to him. I was just speaking to him yesterday. But we decided that we'll do one, I think, on the last Friday of this month. I think the 26th is when we slated it for. But basically the last week of this month, yeah, Fiboswani will be coming back. I'm really excited to hear what he has. I mean, I already kind of know what he has to say, but I'm excited to once again like present him because he's just one of the best. He's just one of the best, and also a good friend, man, and also just a good guy overall, like an actual good, like someone that you'd actually want to hang out with, as you can trust him. He's a solid guy. Anyways, Dog Toshi says, I started chewing ice every day too since getting COVID. Sure, good stuff, man. We're in good company right now. I see Crypto Clown World is looking for Shido, Nexo, Brock, Abel, Loco. Are those all different ones or is that all the same one? I don't fucking know. Anyways, let me pull up the super chats over here. See what we got. We'll start off with Mr. Tom Struct for today. And Yeah, he wants to be looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin. We briefly looked at this one yesterday. You're looking at a 6 hour and a daily. Let's see what we got. Daily actually does look like it is putting in a base above 5.8 million Satoshis. Well, here's the thing. I know you didn't ask about a weekly time frame, but I do think that Ethereum Bitcoin pairing is going to do two things simultaneously. You're going to see both a test to somewhere around 6 million Satoshis or just above, maybe 6.1 million Satoshis. And you're also probably going to see a test at least down to 5.8 million Satoshis, but probably even a little bit lower towards 5.7 million Satoshis. I think that you'll see both the range high and the range low essentially met is what I'm trying to say. But, as long as this one is closing above 5.8 million Satoshis on the daily, upside resolution from this range is more likely. When it starts to close below there, okay, yeah, this one's probably coming down first. But ultimately, I'll be looking for both a test to the upside and the downside of this range, with 5.8 million Satoshis kind of like the big area to be aware of on a daily closing basis. Okay, we have RM next. He's looking at Solana daily and weekly. Okay, Solana. Go to this chart right here. Okay, is it getting ready for a test towards 150? I don't really have any. Where are you getting 150 from? Is the real question. I guess you're probably just going off of this high over here. It's a little bit lower than 150, but fair enough. Look, Solana. I mean, okay, I'm looking for something obvious here. Starting to print a bit of a head and shoulders on 5-day RSI, but short term it should try a little bit more on this rally. I think short term it probably tries a little bit more on this rally. No, I really don't think that 150 is actually that likely. The only way that I'd say 150 is likely is if you start to take out and trade above Tuesday, the 2nd of January's high, which is 117 basically. I think that you're more or less range bound here for a while. You might see some damn, LARP lines get in the way of everything. Probably some more sideways overall with short-term upside, kind of similar to Bitcoin. And then if it's going to break down, I'd probably be expecting that later this month. But to be fair, on the weekly, Solana, not looking. It's actually not looking bad on the weekly. Huh. Yeah, I'm getting some interesting signals right here. I'd still be inclined to say, though, short term, try some upside, but as long as you're below 117, downside overall remains more likely, probably somewhere close to like 75. But that's going to take a while. That's going to take at least another month, I suspect. Anyways, Sam Fragnosis wants to look at some Forex, which is good because something different, something new. Euro versus yen. And we'll look at this one on OANDA. And this one, you're looking at daily and 4 hour. Let's see what a daily looks like. Daily up. Well, hold on. Overall, this one very likely does move to the upside, but short term, does it come back down a little bit? Could very easily do that. I'm more inclined to say upside's more likely here, just overall. But here's the thing, above 158.65, upside more likely. Short term, short term moves back down to like 159 are completely fine and probably just higher lows. But I would actually turn bearish on this one if you do see it take out the low of Friday the 12th of January, which is 158.5 basically. Below there, I'd be looking for this one to try back down somewhere around 156.5 region. Until then, short term, maybe another short term downside move, but overall this one likely does resolve to the upside. Higher term timeframes. Okay, when I go to the monthly, I actually do get a little bit more bearish on this one. I know you didn't ask about a monthly, but I do think it's kind of important to look at like a more holistic view here. I would still be running with that assumption though. If you're just asking me about the daily, 158.5 is a big number to be aware of. As long as you're above there, upside remains the direction. Probably looking somewhere around 161-ish, 161 to 161.5. Anyway, Solid Gold is looking at Whitehaven Coal. Okay, so this is a real stock. Well, it's also on Australian markets, so probably not that real, but it's this one right here. So we'll look at the weekly and monthly, very high term timeframes. Okay, long term, I do like this as a macro bottom. The question is this one actually breaking out from the long term macro bottom? Yeah, I do think so. Looking at the weekly, monthly, long term, I'd be looking for this one to trade back up north of $9 towards like 9.5 region. The reversal is real. Yeah. Overall pretty good. Monthly RSI reclaiming the exponential there. Very likely reaches into the bullish control zone. So I'd be looking for overall upside on this one. In the more near term, does it pop back down to like 770? I don't have strong opinions on that. That'd be fine. It's just you don't want to see this one below basically January lows, which is 745 or so. Anyways, moving on, we have fucking buy the dip. Very ecstatic there. Link, yes, I know you love Link. In fact, you're the one who kind of introduced it to me many moons ago, many moons ago. But let's see what it's doing. Okay, so you're looking at an hourly and a daily and a weekly. Okay, weekly, strange here. I do like the higher low in the making, but it's not really conclusive just yet. Daily, just in a range as far as this one's concerned. Some like shit. I done goofed on, yeah, there we go. Well, let's actually do that one. Okay, beautiful. All right, got my normal colors back now. Daily, just in a range, 17.5 to the upside versus 12.5 to the downside. It's literally in the middle of that range as of right now, so not really helpful on that one. Weekly, a little bit more poised for another test of the upside towards 16.5. What does the monthly look like? Yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for Bitcoin to do. Puts in this shooting star dildo right here, next month down, but that downside is quickly kind of reclaimed back to around January open, what would be equivalent for Bitcoin, and then pushes on up. I actually like this for Link. I do think that longer term, it does resolve this consolidation to the upside, but in the very near term, does it play out a short-term downside move? Likely yes. If you're on the hourly, probably looking somewhere down around, 1470 to 1455 region, if I had to guess. But that's not the one that I'm like super exuberant about. It's the weekly, monthly that I'll be a lot more in tune with. But yeah, weekly, monthly, this just looks like the next higher low. And the monthly just looks like continuation, with a real breakout. And again, this is kind of what I expect Bitcoin to do. This month of December for Link is kind of what I expect January to look like, and then February play out some downside, but quickly bounce back on up. That would look really, really good for Bitcoin. And I think that Link is actually playing ahead of Bitcoin in this case, because we did see Link as a first mover from September. Actually, it did move a little bit sooner than Bitcoin. So I do think it's actually leading yet again, similar to what we did see back in 2018, 2019. This one was really doing something spectacular during that time, and I think you're kind of seeing the same thing over here. Actually, these have all the makings of a macro low on the monthly. It's just it's going to take its time, obviously. Anyways, Jacob Virgil de Dios, or maybe it's Jacob, Coinbase stock. Okay, actually I have this one on my list. I actually do own this one on my Vanguard account, which is apparently sacrilege to say in cryptocurrency right now because they won't offer Bitcoin ETF, but who fucking cares? Why do you want to buy Bitcoin ETF anyways? You can just buy spot, but fair enough. Anyways, okay, so Coinbase, we were looking at a targeted region. I believe it was 160. That was hit, actually exceeded by quite a fair bit, getting all the way up towards like 187. Pretty fucking crazy there. The reversal is real here. This one I do expect sideways and down for a while. Probably maybe even closer to $100. 110-ish region is fine. This one had a phenomenal move to the upside, but it's time to be looking for the next higher low. It's just right now, probably expected to come down more first. Weekly, monthly are both, very obviously reversal points. The monthly kind of has me concerned here long term, but I suppose long term, as long as it is above $100, it's okay. It's just you want to see that. You really want to see that next higher low at about $1.20. Right now, trading at 130. So. It's going to take its time again. If you're on the 4-hour time frame, is short-term downside more likely? I mean, very, very short-term here, you're probably looking at a bounce relatively soon. You do have this as a nice herp and derp. Let's just see what the implied move would be from this, because that's probably where you're going to get the next decent bounce. And actually, it's significantly lower, maybe closer to 120 to 110. So I'd be looking for, I guess, continuation here to the downside. Very, very short-term timeframes will have bounces along the way, but ultimately, yeah, it actually does look like it's poised for 120-ish region before the next sort of, daily bounce attempt, I suspect. Then again, the daily is already on the 55. What are we looking like right here? It technically should have a bounce relatively soon. Bearish as long as you're below 161 though. So all bounces are just stab bounces. I'd feel a lot more confident on the higher term timeframes there. Nico Senpai wants to look at SLV. So this is Silver ETF, I believe, or Silver Trust. What are we looking at? Short term, 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, that's a retarded way of saying like 4 hour and a daily, because that probably takes about 1 to 2 weeks to play out. Let's see what is going on here. Let's look at the higher term timeframes first. Okay, this is why I hate this kind of shit, because it does shit like this. It's very difficult to read it, at least for me. I know you didn't ask anything about like a fucking monthly, but I am just curious to see. Okay, what does like a quarterly look like? Okay, this is starting to make more sense now. Overall, that $17.50 low is probably the macro higher low. Weekly looks fucking weird to me though. Really fucking weird. As does the daily. I mean, realistically, in the next couple weeks, you're probably going to continue ranging. I would not expect it to be either above 23 bucks or below, 19.5 bucks. You're literally in the middle of this range. It's like it's not ideal. If you're just looking at the next couple weeks of price action, you're probably going sideways within this range, hugging the $21 level or so. Maybe a little bit of the ups towards 22.25, maybe a little bit of downs towards like 20 bucks, but ultimately the range will very likely hold for the next couple weeks. I don't think this one's moving anytime soon, to be honest with you. If you look at a monthly, quarterly, this one probably moves in second quarter, not first quarter of this year. Anyways, Jacob is back. He wants to look at Riot stocks. So this is a Bitcoin miner. So this actually might have some interesting information pertaining to Bitcoin. We do kind of expect these things to trade similarly to each other. Monthly, already problems. Hidden bearish divergence of 2 drive variety right there. It is a phantom drive, but probably good enough to get it back down. Maybe closer to $7 overall, but that's going to take months to play out realistically, and you're looking at a 4 on daily and weekly, so that's not even relevant to you. Weekly down, short term probably a bounce, maybe back up to $13, but ultimately weekly very likely comes back down towards these lows that you saw in October. Daily, same shit. Might try for a bounce here first, but ultimately down. 4 hour time frame. Same shit as well. I think it probably tries to bounce a little bit lower towards maybe around like 11:30 first, and then the downside emerges. Michael Longcar wants to look at SLND. Okay, Solend, SLND. All right, Solend. I guess we go to this for this, and no time frames given. So I just look at this bullshit like this. Long term. Not the worst shitcoin in the world, but not the best one either. I would be expecting this one to test somewhere down around 220 and try for a bounce there. Does that happen in the more near term or not? Again, it's just ranging at the highs for a while, I suspect. So I'd probably be looking for this one to come back down first. Try for a bounce somewhere around like 220, hold the range, continue sideways for a while. I don't have strong opinions on this one, man. What are you laughing about? Fart TikTok. Oh man, these ice cubes are too fucking cold. Yeah, I'd be looking for this one to come down to like 220, try for a bounce there. Other than that, overall range probably takes some time to figure itself out. I don't think this one's moving outside of the range anytime soon. Probably at least a month. Let's see. Elsa wants to look at Spell 4 hour and daily. Okay, what the fuck is this? It's Harry Potter coin. Knock it off, Malfoy, and knock you off your broom. Ho 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 ho. Yeah, we'll. Training for the ballet, Potter. Overall, absolute fucking garbage. Whatever the fuck this thing is. Really bad. Like, really, really bad. Macro weekly lower highs continue. Hidden bearish divergence should be on this one as well. Short term, does it try another bounce back up? I don't have strong opinions on whether it does, but if it does, I'd be looking for, you know, at maximum to get somewhere around like 6, whatever the fuck this number is right here, right there. And then continue on down. Not good long term. Short, you know, relative shorter term on the daily, you know, might base off again on the lows, but I would be expecting a bounce there. That's when maybe it hits this level over here, if it is going to at all, and then I'd be looking for it to turn down, most likely. Now, of course, when you get that far out, like, it's kind of difficult to speak about, but yeah, very, very short term, back down around the lows, very likely bounce around those lows, maybe bounce comes up somewhere around here, but I'd want to come back to it after that just in case, but I'd be leaning towards a rejection there and then long term down. Let's see. Mythic OG says ALPH, Alphium. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. You fucking Harry Potter. You fucking Harry Potter pussy. Let's see. ALPH. All right. Already the weird as fuck chart. There's got to be a better chart than this. Maybe Gate.io. Here we go. All right, this chart makes a little bit more sense. Gate.io. I didn't say gay.io. I said Gate.io. And you're fucking soy boy IO. 4 hour and weekly. It's quite the spread of time frames there. Very good here long term compared to everything else that we've seen today. Actually, this one's basically on all-time highs already. 4 hour time frame. Does it continue to consolidate here? Very likely yes. Plays out this range between the highs and lows coming in somewhere right around here. Higher lows as long as you're above $2. You know, I think it's going to take its time to kind of travel through this region, maybe something like that. But long term, I would actually be expecting an upside resolution from here, as long as you're above last week's low. Below last week's low, okay, probably consolidates a little bit lower, maybe closer to like $1.50. But for right now, one of the better charts that we've seen today. One of the best, maybe if not the best chart we've seen today. I think you just trade sideways there for a while, and sideways is good for the boo laws, with those numbers in mind. All right, crypto wrecked. Wait, is it crypto wrecked RD? Is that right? I think it's right. Probability of FET breaking the current. Okay, I probably won't have like real probabilities for this one because it'd be based off of a real setup. But if you just want me to pull numbers out of my ass like I see most people do, like, God, I was on this fucking Spaces with someone last night, and I won't name his name, but he's a very popular character on Twitter and YouTube, and this guy was just like. He's a fucking line drawer on charts, which is fine. But like, he then assigned probabilities to that. He's like, I give it an 80% probability. It's like, you don't fucking know that. You don't have any math to back that up at all. He's a master trader apparently as well. Anyways, FET 60 cents. Okay, so breaking 60 cents. Okay. So first off, you are defining the range of 60 cents to 75. I would agree with the top end of that, actually closer to 78 cents, but the bottom end I would disagree with. That would be these lows over here at 50 cents basically, or a little bit below 50 cents. Now I do actually look at this one as actually decent long term. It's better than your average shitcoin chart, that's for sure. Monthly I like as well. I do think ultimately you will see a move somewhere around 95 cents to maybe even $1. Okay. So you're looking for this move to happen before Bitcoin moves. I don't think that that's likely. I think that this one's range bound. And then if Bitcoin plays out downside, you see some downside on this one as well. Just want to see 50 cents hold here. How much of a move would that be from where it currently is at? Okay, yeah, this 40% move. That would actually make a lot of sense. Then again, the weekly does not look bad. 5 day. Okay, a little bit less so. I don't have any real probabilities for you on this one, man. In fact, if anything, I don't really have a strong opinion on this one, if anything. But my strong opinion is long term on the monthly. You do see this one move closer to 95 cents to $1. I do think that you see an upside resolution from here. It's just what time frame is that on? I don't know. You know, monthlies can take quite some time to play out, obviously, but the monthly is good, and the reversal is real, and you are in an uptrend here, and this very likely does result in new all-time highs, but that can take like half a year to a year. Misha Vladimir, definitely Russian. ICP short and medium term, no problem, man. We're like neighbors. We're like neighbors who hate each other. Can be from Cambodia. Elsa says, what do you mean? He can be from Cambodia. Not trusting that one. Also not trusting this one. Fucking dog shit chart. Jesus Christ, man. One of the worst ones we've seen today, for sure. Doesn't mean it's going to go straight down exactly from here, though. You're looking at short and medium term. I don't really know what that means to you, so I'm just going to go with daily and 4 hour. Very similar to a lot of the other charts in the more near term. You know, you are just playing out a bit of a range, and in the more near term, I probably would be looking for a test of the downside of that range. Just don't want to see this one really break long term below 880. That's where this one gets sent back down to hell, or sorry, not 880 but 865. That's where this one gets sent to hell again. In the short term, you know, can it come back down and test like 1130? Completely fine. And probably tries for a bounce there. Daily, nothing exciting about this to the upside, and this is not helpful. I 100% understand and admit, as long as you're below, you know, the 3rd of January lows, or sorry, highs, the highs of January 3rd, which is 16 and a quarter. Above there, this one can actually rally quite a fair bit. I'd be looking for extension towards like 22, 22 and a half, but I do think that's pretty fucking far away. In the short term, I'd still be looking for that downside, and I'd want to revisit it after that. Long term, like long term, just don't want to see it break 865. Otherwise, this one really will get treated like a piece of garbage and probably come back and probably undo a lot of this rally. But I'm inclined to say that probably doesn't happen. Probably doesn't happen, but I don't have any strong opinions on that one. Stu Amazing, nice play on words. Thoughts on Kadena 4 hour and daily? Sure. Okay, this is one that was very popular a bit of time ago, but we haven't heard too much about. Yeah, this one was popular last cycle. I remember that. Then again, you get the same shitcoin chart that you get on a lot of these things, just straight down. Did not join in on the rallies that most of this market did, at least to the severity that we saw in most of this market in recent times. So that's not the best sign long term. Again, another one that, you know, in the more short to medium term, I'd be looking for it to kind of play back down. You know, you might see another test towards 140, but ultimately I'd be looking for it to do something like this. You know, continue on with that overall sideways in this range. I don't think that you're just going to see anything like super interesting from this one in the more near term. Just kind of range plays here with likely another test of the downside. I would say somewhere down around about $1.05, $1.10 region. But yeah, other than that, probably tries for another bounce there. Probably continues on with the sideways. You know, hard to get excited about this thing as long as you're below 165, and hard to get super bearish on this thing as long as you're above 90 cents. It's kind of the range for right now. It's not as interesting of a chart as most things, just because of the way that it hasn't. I mean, this is really its first bounce attempt in its history, I guess. I'm never going to like a chart like this. Doesn't mean that it can't reverse. It's just, it's relatively weak. So if you do see the rest of the market go up, don't expect this one to go up as much. It will still go up, and if the market goes down, this one will probably overperform, meaning more downside relative to the rest of the market. Do you have class now? Yes. Water went down the wrong hole. Elsa's gonna go to what Pilates class, some shit? I don't know. Anyways, tray only. I'm just fucking up with all my food today. Trey only says LMT on the daily. Is this sounds like a real stock? Yeah, Lockheed Martin. Or is it a crypto? I'm just gonna type in this and see it. Fuck, it actually might be a crypto, but I'm gonna guess you're talking about a real stock. Lockheed Martin. I believe this is a defense. It's an offensive stock. I think they make like fighter jets, some shit. Bullish as fuck. Bullish as fuck. Bullish as fuck. Hidden bullish evidence on this last higher low right here, and a series of higher lows in a stock that pretty much only goes up. This is what real good charts look like. They just fucking go up. They just fucking go up on the higher term time frames. Even the quarterly is about to confirm hidden bullish evidence. In fact, I'd say that's probably a foregone conclusion. Long term, this one's making new highs, very, very likely, probably even this year. Monthly trades up from here towards the current highs, you know, $490 to $500. I'd probably be looking for maybe even this quarter. I like it. I think that this was your last higher low. This thing's very, very good as long as you're above 410. Very fucking good. One of the best charts we've seen today. In fact, maybe the best for a very long period of time as well. I mean, again, compare this to a lot of shit coins, right? This one's been trading since 1995. So what, 30 years almost of history? And it just goes fucking up. all higher lows the whole way through. That's the thing. And I'd actually like to spend a second here just kind of explain this. When you actually have a good asset, and this could be a crypto, this could be whatever, it doesn't matter. This knowledge will still be the same across all different markets. You don't have to make excuses for it. They just fucking go up. And whenever, there is tumultuous times in the market overall, they just put in macro higher lows. And you actually do see, to be fair, you see the same thing on Bitcoin here too. If you put this on a quarterly, macro higher lows, that's good. That's good long term. Absolutely. Just like Lockheed Martin. Giles DeBosch says the narrative for Ethereum is the possible Ethereum ETF coming. Statistics say that Ethereum is likely coming down together with Bitcoin. Possible that Ethereum could run on its own. Your thoughts? Ethereum running on its... Okay, so let's quantify this statement first. Ethereum running on its own, implying that Bitcoin were to either trade sideways or literally go the opposite direction. I think it would be very unlikely if you were to see higher term time frame trends where Ethereum has explosive upside moves where Bitcoin actually moves down. That I think would be extremely unlikely. But could you get into a scenario where you see Bitcoin go more or less sideways, maybe join a little bit on the upside while Ethereum explodes? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that would be the most likely scenario if you are to get an Ethereum ETF. But I do think that that's probably further away than what most people would consider. The reason why I say that is because I would be looking at the time from when Ethereum got its futures on CME versus when Bitcoin got its futures on CME, and there was a few year spread on that. So I would actually be saying that Ethereum probably isn't going to get an ETF for a year or two. But this is not something that I can do like any real analysis on. It's a subjective opinion. I don't fucking know. It's just a guess as far as Ethereum goes, but. In that scenario, yeah, I do think that's what it would likely look like if Ethereum were to really get an ETF, or if you really saw, like real legitimate attempts from, legitimate firms like a BlackRock, which they have stated that they want to try. It's just they haven't actually put in the papers yet. So when that process happens, yeah, I'd be looking for something like that where Bitcoin trades sideways, maybe joins a little bit on the upside, but Ethereum really fucking rolls. That's what I'd be looking for. Anyways, Zav Arion says WPLS. Oh, is this fucking Pulse? Oh God, sir, please. Actually, it does look like it has a major reversal here. Hey, this is a real reversal actually as well. It's a really good reversal. In fact, I'd be looking for this one to trade higher, probably somewhere around whatever this high is right here. I don't know what sort of a delta is that on that move. 37%. Yeah, overall, it's put in a major low right here, maybe even a macro low. In fact, yeah, it probably is a macro low. Actually, I'd be saying this one very likely trades up and to the right from here. The reversal is real. It's probably going to take some time. You know how these things work, especially with something that's highly liquid like this, and maybe even under SEC investigation. But overall, up and to the right is actually would actually be my general direction. Downside moves very likely just make higher lows. So the question is, when does this one try for the next higher low? And realistically on the daily, I don't expect this one to trade too much further to the upside in the more near term before turning back down and trying for a next higher low. You are going to have, you're going to see bearish divergence here very likely between your October highs, which were significantly lower, and the highs being put in here, and daily volatility already at extremes. I say that this current run is likely done in the short term, but that's very likely to put in another higher low and very likely to continue on in the long term to the upside. The reversal is real. Yeah. Pretty good there actually long term. Long term for the history that we do have. I do think that this one is generally going to move to the upside. Anthony Michelle has a super chat, but I don't see any actual words added to it. So. Okay. Anyways, Crypto Rect is back. He wants to look at SEI on the daily. Okay, simple SEI. See what we have here. I know that this one's a very popular one, a very good one as well. I think last time we looked at this, last week or the last couple weeks, we were looking at another move somewhere around the 2618 Fibonacci extension, which got pretty fucking close there. Got up to a high of 86.5 cents. We were looking for like 91 to 92 cents. Is that close enough? Are we going to see some distribution here? overall, it does appear to be a healthy consolidation at a very high level. You know, what's your range essentially? Your range is this area right here, about 57 cents to the downside. Below there, I'd get bearish. By contrast, above 88.5 cents, I'd be getting quite bullish for the next move, probably above $1. But short term, you know, has it found a short term local high? Very likely yes. Probably trade sideways and down here. I'm looking at the same thing on a lot of these coins. You know, just range plays that ultimately go sideways for the next few weeks is kind of what I'm leaning towards on a lot of these things. This one, however, long term, very fucking good. It's just, oh, whoops, I'm just drawing shit now. Apologies. It's just that I'd probably be expecting this one to, it probably has found a nice high right here, and I'd be looking for this one to go into a prolonged sideways consolidation and try for the next macro higher low, because this one really hasn't even had one on even a 5-day time frame since like early December when it was trading at you know, a quarter. Now trading at, you know, a few multiples from there. So yeah, I'd probably be looking at something like that. Okay. Thinking about the name says optimism, 1 day, 5-day. Okay, we're just doing one, man. Can't do every fucking thing because my voice will actually like die. it'll just die. All right, so symbol OP, 1 day and 5-day. All right, 5-day. You know, do I think that we found a local high right here? Very likely, yes. A little bit, a very small amount of bearish divergence, but significant nonetheless. On that high, you know, in the more near term over the next week or two, I'd be looking for this one to play back down towards 315, 320-ish region. Probably try for a bounce there, but this is starting to look like distribution at the highs, you know. So while it does probably do something like this, you know, it's going to trade sideways. You know, long term, does it have a downside resolution? I wouldn't call it just that. I'd just be looking for range plays and sideways. Sideways within this range is going to be good long term. It's just I suspect that it's going to take its time. Again, can't really get excited about this one as long as you're below 415 or 420. Above there, it's just, I mean, obviously going to make new all-time highs, but the question is how high from there, which we can actually maybe get an idea of if that were to happen. Probably closer to like, Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe closer to $5, $5.50 from there. But, you know, in the more near term or the relative near term, I'd be looking for sideways and probably a little bit of downside below 288. At that point, I'd be looking for this one to actually have a pretty decent collapse down to $2.50. I guess it's not that big of a collapse, but that's where I'd be looking for the next higher low if that area does indeed fail. All right, Michael Longcar is back. He wants like a Cardano. Still no fucking time frames. So we're just gonna roll with it. Let's see. A lot of these look very similar in the more near term. Yeah, another chart that's very similar to a lot of the other ones. Again, this one on the weaker side compared to a lot of other things that we have seen today. Hard to get excited about this one really at all to the upside as long as you're below 67 cents. You can all see the white 200 simple moving average there, so rejecting price action thus far, but a consolidation above 46.5 cents is going to be long-term inherently bullish if it can just hold that level, 46.5 cents. Below 46.5 cents, okay, this one gets, you know, shoved back down to hell, somewhere closer to 35 cents or 30 cents even. But for right now, it's very similar to a lot of the other charts that we've looked at in the sense that I'm probably going to see something like this. And it's probably going to do that for like, you know, at least the next couple of weeks. And then if it does want to break out a breakdown, I'd be looking in February. I am leaning towards a breakdown, but again, my opinion is irrelevant to that equation. Whatever, you know, whichever side it breaks first. I mean, that's obviously gonna be the side that it goes, you know. But even just trading above, you know, the highs right here, probably gonna be good enough to get this one back up closer to like 90 cents, probably even $1 overall. I mean, I don't think it'd stop at 90 cents. I think ultimately you'd get towards like 115 to 120 if that were to happen. And probably long term, that is where it's headed. See what the monthly looks like. Yeah, I guess I'd have to be biased towards an upside resolution actually. Fair enough. All right. Mati, our Finnish friend is here. He says pass G. Okay. All right. Pass G. Passive gold. Okay. Sounds legit. Okay, that chart is not legit because it doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Do we have it on MEXC? Okay, I guess that is really the chart. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. Surprisingly pretty good. Only history since September, but it has moved straight to the upside, which is what you want to see. Of course, in the more near term, okay, so you're on the 4-hour time frame. I would be looking for this one to try a little bit of a short-term upside move, something like this. But again, a lot like the other ones, just playing out range moves here. Not really seeing anything significant, above the range highs or below the range lows. But of course, if you do start to take out 6.7 cents to the downside, I'd be looking for this one to have a pretty deep retracement here, probably somewhere closer to like just below 5 cents. By the same token, above 10 cents, this one probably makes me optimize. Moi moi. Moi moi. Not to you, Mr. Monty. We're still here together, man. Just Elsa. She's leaving. Because I know that you actually know what the fuck that means. Yeah, I'd just be looking for sideways here for a while. But long term, actually kind of have to be biased towards an upside resolution just based off the long-term strength of this one. I can't hate higher highs and higher lows for the past few months. Consolidation here for a prolonged time after 3 months of straight upside. Not that crazy to think about. All right, Orlando Gobbin wants to look at Polkadot. Okay, so symbol DOT. Again, no time frames fucking given, so I'm just gonna make it up, baby. And what do you know? Same fucking chart. All these damn charts look the same, but definitely on the weaker side longer term compared to a lot of the other things that we have seen today. So to the upside, it probably underperforms. To the downside, it probably overperforms. Again, here's your range lows, here's your range highs. Daily time frame, again, it's probably gonna be something like this, man. I don't think a lot of these things are not gonna do anything super interesting for the next couple of weeks. I would be expecting both, probably a test towards like $8 or a little bit above $8 at some point, and also a retest somewhere around the range lows of like below $7, 6.5 to 680-ish region. 4-hour time frame. Am I more biased towards short-term downside or upside? I don't fucking know. I mean, this is like literally in the middle of the range. All indicators are kind of neutral here. It's not giving me much to go off of. If I had to guess, probably down short term, but that's just not helpful. Again, long term, very exciting above your December highs. At that point, this one can really roll actually. Like I would be looking for this one to actually put in a very significant move towards $14. Long term if that were to happen, but. Yeah, fair enough. Just another damn chart that looks the same. Mr. RK Sidhu, it's been a while, man. We looked at Kadena earlier, so I think we're good there. But good to see you back as well. Mr. Young Rico says INJ Daily Weekly. I believe we have not looked at this one today. We looked at this one definitely in the past, though. So let's see. Yeah, and now I remember it. It's one of the strongest ones. All right. Yes, that's right. Okay. This one, if any chart is looking like it might break out in the short term, it's this one. Hidden bullish divergence in the short on the daily. Volatility starting to tick up here. It's already basically at the all-time highs. I mean, if you see this one even just trade above the Tuesday, the 9th high this month, I'd be looking for this one to put in a move towards $55 or so. Bullish, especially as long as you're above Wednesday the 3rd of January's low, which is 29.25. Yeah, one of the best, if not the best charts we've seen today. Not bad at all. If it were to take out the lows, however, I would be looking for this one to have a pretty deep retracement towards like $22, $23 before the next attempt for a bounce. Is it ready for a breakout? You do have a lot of things over here that, yeah, I would say it's probably the most ready of anything we've seen today. I don't know how much more it has to go overall. Like I said, $55 would be pretty good, but things are starting to get pretty hot on the weekly, so I don't think it would have like a huge amount more to go. Assuming you have an upside resolution like $55 probably, and then, well, look for major consolidations after that. Stylix here says, bruh, Chicago is cold. Man, I know it is, but I'm living in a place that might just be just as cold. How does Solana look on the 4-hour and daily? Have we looked at this one? I feel like we have looked at this one today, but I forget. Maybe we haven't. No, I don't think that we have. Short term, it actually looks a little more poised to test the upside of the range, maybe somewhere around like $1.07, $1.10. I guess I already have my LARP lines in here. Beautiful. Again, overall, a nice range here. I don't think it's ready to break out or break down anytime soon. I think that this takes its time. I think that you will simultaneously see a test somewhere just below $90, and you'll probably also see a test up towards like 110. I guess I'm a little bit more biased towards a short-term upside test, but I don't feel yeah, okay, 4-hour time frame, starting to get some signals here. So yeah, probably short-term does test the upside first, and then maybe downside later, but very long-term, like monthly, I think you spend some time still within this region. Yeah, I don't think it's ready to I don't think it's ready to like bust on through or do anything like that anytime soon. I think they're going to be oscillating within this region for at least a couple weeks. Can I be wrong on that? Sure. If you start to see daily closures above 118.5, I guess at that point look towards 140 to 150. I guess. But yeah, you know, still among some of the better ones that we've seen today. All right, Michael Longcar, still no fucking time frames, but symbol TET, Tetcom. Okay, all right, Tetcom. Great words. Okay, we have another new shitcoin, but it's, you know, it's actually gone just basically vertical, which is good. Instead of going down, it's always gonna be preferable. Very, very short. I just don't know where you want me to go with this one because no time frames given, but very short term, kind of similar to Solana, probably test a little bit of upside towards 38 maybe. But overall, just a nice range kind of forming here. Something like this. Actually, I'd be a little bit lower there. You know, so maybe test a little bit of upside, continues to range. I don't think you're doing anything interesting here for a while though. Yeah, very... Okay. Yeah, I am biased towards this one, trying upside first. There will be some hidden bullish divergence on the daily here relatively soon. Is it going to be good enough to actually get new highs in this one? Like above 45? That I don't know. Above 45, this thing obviously makes new all-time highs. Is there any way to get like some areas of interest to the upside? Nothing that I really trust from there. I think $50 would be quite likely if you see something like that, but it's not really saying that much. All right, Davey 2Y or Dave 2Y says 4-hour please. Copy paste this to find the chart. Actually can't even do that, but you want to look at Cock AVAX. Oh God, what the fuck is this thing? Cock AVAX. All right. This makes it. Okay, so you're on a 4-hour here. Very new chart. If I have to call it short-term downside, probably back down to whatever the fuck this area is right here. Long list of numbers that I don't know how to read off easily. Not going off of much though. There's really not much history here. But if I did have to call it, probably test some downside. At least down to whatever this fucking area is there, and probably a little bit lower than that overall. And I'll be looking for a bounce somewhere around there as well, I guess. But not really going off of much. Very limited history. Hello, I'm Nate. What's up, Nate? How's Ethereum looking? I think we did a video on this one yesterday. Let's see how it's doing today. All right, going to the index here. Yeah, I still think Ethereum likely tries to bounce from here. You know, if anything's going to try some new highs, I think Ethereum's a little bit more poised towards that rather than Bitcoin. New highs on this rally, I should say. Very, very near term, probably be looking for something like this, and then tries for a little bit of a bounce, but hard one, in my opinion. Again, it's just like you're not giving me any time frames to go off of, so I don't really know what you're expecting here. You know, it's hard to be bearish on this one as long as you're above 2260. That would be the big one for me right here. Below 2250 or 2250. I would start to switch on to being bearish here, but until then, short-term downside moves actually should just be higher lows. You know, getting ready for a continuation of the upside move towards 2850 would be the next area of interest, and then you got like low 3000s, but just looks weird here, I guess, because you know, yesterday was basically a holiday. So overall, yeah, if overall monthly time frame, Ethereum has more upside. I mean, this I do think is quite likely, especially when you see, you know, these macro higher lows on declining volatility like that. That looks really fucking good. Monthly momentum remains the upside. It's just, does it happen this month? I don't think so. But ultimately, somewhere around 32 to like 3,600, I think, on the continuation of this move. Fucking by the dip, he's back. Rectum, ticker TET. Actually, we just looked at that one. But you want to look at an hourly. We can just briefly look at that really, really quickly here. We'll go to this one. Hourly short-term down, hidden bearish divergence, probably back down to like 32. 32 and a half to 32. Michael Longcar says Mina protocol. Okay, again, no fucking time frames given, never. Just figure it out, Krown. Read my damn mind. All right, man. I'm trying my best here. Again, another one that just looks like all these same fucking altcoins. They all look the fucking same. Again, I think that you're ranging here for a while. 145 high versus 95-cent low. Short term does a try upside towards like 140, 145, probably yes. Don't have strong opinions, however, on that. My overall strong opinion is on continuation of this range for a while. And sorry, I should say 140 to the upside, not 145. You know, maybe something like this. Blah, 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 blah. Probably something like that. Above 145, 150-ish region on higher term time frame closures. This one can actually roll quite a fair bit to the upside, you know, above $2, but bearish as fuck below 95 cents. So technically speaking, consolidation here should be viewed as good long term. It's interesting. You know, if Bitcoin is going to actually break down, I'd really be expecting a lot of these altcoins to look a lot worse than what they are. So maybe that will indeed be wrong. Dan Data, are you Data Dan? Are you Data Dan? BLZ 4 hour and daily. Let's check it out. The Data Dan, one of the funniest motherfuckers in the Discord. Blue Zell. Okay. Daily and 4 hour. Daily hidden bullish divergence, low volatility, up. Looking for this one back around like 36, 37 cents. Might even try for new highs on this run. Or actually, sorry, not new highs, because it's definitely been higher in the past. But I'd be looking for a short-term upside test first. Come back to it after that. I don't think it's guaranteed that this one breaks out. And if it does, maybe it tests like 44, 45 cents if it were to. But I'm inclined to say that this one probably continues range, then comes back down, sets in a higher low, and goes from there. All right, cool. Oh, you want to look at 4 hours? Well. It's a fucking line chart. No opinion on the 4 hour. It's the daily. I'd be looking for this one trade. Try some short-term upside first. 35 to 36 cents. Cool. All right. Thinking about the name says TIA USD. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. We'll go to Binance for this one. And again, one of the best charts that we've seen today as well. I believe we've seen this one in the past. Let's see if we can come up with some sort of extensions to see what the areas of interest might indeed be. Yes, they do seem to be working right here, so that's good. You know, above $20, this one can really roll towards like 23, 24 region. But for right now, short-term time frames, 4 hour, I'm inclined to say this one actually plays out a little bit of downside. Let's see, what about a daily? No, we just did that. What about a 12 hour? Problem with a lot of these is just not that much history, so it makes it difficult to go off of. But you know, I'm gonna generally be bullish on this one as long as you're above $15. Below 15, I'd call a reversal. So the thing is that it can still play out short-term downside moves towards like 16 and a half, you know, $17, and put in higher lows. Problem is, on the daily time frame, you are going to have bearish divergence, like some pretty significant bearish divergence at some point. But does it trade higher first? Kind of inclined to say that is more likely here, albeit very short term on the 4 hour. I do think it tries for another higher low. Hard one, actually. That's a really difficult thing about a lot of these things, that there's just not much history. All right, John Brooks says C pool USD. Okay. All right. I guess we go to Cutcoin for this one, and another one that looks like a fucking range play, probably coming back down to the bottom side of this range though first. You know, I think at best you go sideways in this range for a while, but very, very short term, probably another test of like just below 9 cents, I guess, or yeah, just below 9 cents. Probably tries for another bounce there. If that bounce brings it back above 13 cents or 13 and a quarter, I'll be looking for this one to continue on with the rally, probably towards like 20 cents. But for right now, must hold this region at 8.8 cents. Below 8.8 cents, I'd be looking for this one to fall down somewhere around just below 7 cents and try for a higher low there. Long term is a really precarious place, however, because if it does come down below, let's say 5 cents, I'd be looking at this as your next macro low or high and getting ready to basically unravel the whole rally and get ready for another 50% downside move. But it's kind of calling for a lot right here. So I'd just be looking for range first and see which way it resolves at and keep those critical numbers in mind. All right, let me see where I left off over here because Elsa's not here to send me anymore. So, holy shit. Okay, I do have to say, or I do have to request that we stop the super chats from this point on. I'll read everyone else's who's commented, but just no more new ones because I actually am on a bit of a limited schedule myself today. Yeah. All right. Michael Longcar says SUI. I think we did that one earlier. So let me just double check. I'm pretty sure though. Let's see. Did we do this one? Maybe not. I don't think I recognize this one. Still no fucking time frames for you though. Again, a difficult one here because I don't think it's ready to continue. I also don't think it's reversing or having any significant reversal. You know, this one's bullish as long as you're above $1.10. Daily time frame is showing some signs of slowdown here. Bearish divergence formulating itself. I'm inclined to say this one actually does come down towards like 116, maybe even as low as 110. But as long as you're above 110, long term, still good. Just another higher low. But I do think it's going into a corrective phase right here. You know, and in the very short term, you're going to see ebbs and flows both ways. But I don't think that this one continues towards new highs before playing out a greater pullback first. Okay, what else we got? We see Banana Man. He says, "Do you expect alts to go negative 30? Do you expect alts to lose 30 to 50% generally with Bitcoin?" So this is an assumption right here. So this would be assuming that Bitcoin does come down, which, you know, the more and more altcoins that I look at, the more and more I am starting to question the likelihood of Bitcoin coming down, like significantly, that is. But if Bitcoin were to do that, then yes, I would expect altcoins to generally lose 30 to 50%. Yeah. If you see Bitcoin somewhere down to low 30,000s or even upper 20s, yeah, I would. It would be kind of silly not to, but the question is, does Bitcoin do that? And still, I'd kind of give Bitcoin a chance to bounce here first and then assess the bounce. If the bounce reclaims $46,500, I don't think that's happening at all before new highs on this rally, which will likely carry up altcoins with it. But if the bounce fails that region, yeah, I do think you'd probably be looking at some pretty general major pullbacks across the board. Of course, there's going to be some one-offs here and there, but in general, see the market come down with it. BK wants to look at KEX. Okay, this is a new one. I don't think I've ever seen this one ever. Kira Network, and you're looking at a 4-hour and a daily, I think. Yeah. Daily wants up. Probably retest somewhere around the highs of this at like 30 cents. See what the long term looks like. Really fucking weird looking chart. Not great long term, but not terrible. Yeah, I would be biased towards this one, more or less just making range plays here. There's your range highs, there's your range lows. You know, does it try something like this? Boom, reject, come back down, try for another higher low, and then go? I don't know. But, you know, the daily, I would be looking here to retest around these highs. If you do see this one start to close above 35 cents, that's where I'd say, hey, this one is actually breaking out, and we will see new highs on this rally. And you can see this one probably move closer towards the prior, you know, closer to the all-time highs, you know, somewhere around like mid 50 cents. But for right now, I'd just be looking for range plays with short-term upside most likely. Let's see. Thinking about the name says Arbidium. Arbidium. Okay. Is this Arbit? Okay, there we go. We'll go here. And you're looking at daily and 5 decay higher term time frames. Nice. But on chart that really doesn't have much history, so maybe not so nice. In fact, lower term time frame is probably better on this one. Daily time frame, again, ranging at the highs. Overall, I like the uptrend. Overall, does have the markers of a more healthy long-term one, but this one can play out some pretty significant downside, even towards like 160 and still be on higher lows here. So that's what I'd be cognizant of. See if there's anything more obvious here. Yeah, I'd just be looking. I just think a lot of these are range plays here. You're going to see a test of the range highs, test of the range lows. This one long term still good as long as you're above 160. And of course, if it trades above the current highs, which is already at all-time highs, then yeah, it's going to make new all-time highs. I wouldn't do any projections on this one though. It's a little bit too new, but I'm much more inclined to say this one is not going to make new highs before first coming back down and setting in a major higher low. Just short-term, it probably does test some upside, but that's not the same thing as calling for an actual break of new highs. Okay, again, please, guys, no more. Oh, I see. It's just a nice positive message. I appreciate that, Mr. Michael. He says, I just want to say thanks for the daily videos and these live streams. I never miss one. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you, and thanks, man. I'll start giving time frames on my super chats one of these days. Yeah, if you don't give time frames on the super chat, I'll just roll with it. I'm just giving you some shit, man. It's just I want to make it more relevant to you because you might be looking at like a fucking 5 minute, for example, and I just don't know, and I'm talking about a daily. And you're like, I don't, and you're looking at my analysis, and you're like, I don't give a fuck about a daily, sir. It's like, fair enough. Just let me know, and I can make it more relevant to you. I see Bear Nutrition in the comments. What's up, man? Good morning to you. Syndicate says, have you already been to Lapland? Yeah, I have. It's really beautiful there, but there's just not much there. Check Ethereum Classic. Okay. I can't say I've looked at Ethereum Classic in like years now. We'll go to this one here. Full history. No time frames given, so I'm just going to look at the higher term time frames. The weekly is interesting. It's very obviously following Ethereum, not as strong, but is following nonetheless. I would probably be looking for a bit of a short-term pullback somewhere closer to like 25 or below 25, but I would be looking for bounces there as well. This one I do think overall continues to the upside alongside Ethereum. You see the monthly look right here, hidden bullish divergence. So short-term pullback should be just that, short-term pullbacks. Longer term, probably later this year, you actually see this thing trade up towards like 45, maybe even $50. You do see the macro higher lows here, so always have to respect that. But yeah, very near term, I don't really have strong opinions, like I said, on this one. It's just, I guess I'd probably be looking for a short-term downside toward, just below $25, but also a bounce there. Again, a lot of these things I think are going to take their time to move. Anyways, okay, where did I leave off? Right here. There we go. Okay, found it. What's up, Lee Wilson? Rows, short and long, please. Don't know what the fuck that means to you, but going 4 hour and daily. I think that's what it means to most people. Daily, short term, probably some upside. Maybe retest somewhere around 12.5 cents to 13 cents, something like that. Very, very short term on like a 4 hour time frame. Probably test the downside first and then tries for that bounce. But just like many of the charts that we've seen today, just like it's really par for the course and probably what you can expect on just about anything. It's just range plays. I don't think you're seeing breakouts or breakdowns this week or even next week. Maybe the week after that. Maybe next week, but probably not this week. But range plays for now, very, very short term, maybe a little bit of downside, but probably bounces there, just continues on with the overall range. This one above, above 15 cents starts to look really good for moves up towards 19 cents, 19 to 20 cents. I guess I'm a little bit more biased towards an upside resolution here as I am on some of these, but below the range lows, big fucking problems, and that's 10 cents. Actually, this one's got some nice round even numbers. Below 10 cents, big problems, probably back down to 7 cents. Might even just undo the whole rally at that point, but yeah, give it some time. All right, what else we got? We see Jason Chanley. He says, PP on the weekly, please. No problem, man. PP. USD. Okay, wow. I haven't looked at this one in a long time as well. Let's read you this whole chart. What time frames? Weekly. Okay. We are on the weekly, but again, something that's been around for less than a year is not going to have much to be going off of. Daily might be more relevant in this case. In fact, it is. Very short term, I guess I'd be looking for a little bit of downside here, but just like most of the charts we've seen today, it's range plays for a while, with probably short term downside on this one. You know, probably tries for a bounce there and continues on sideways for the next week or two. Yeah, very low term time frame, like 4 hour. Short term, I'd be biased towards a downside move, but it's not anything too crazy. It's just range plays, I suspect. This one's really only bearish if you start to go below like whatever the fuck this number is here. I don't even know. I actually am inclined to say that this one probably trades sideways and upside out of this range, but that's going to take some time. But yeah, short term downside is the only thing that I feel more convicted of, I guess, if I have to feel convicted of anything on this chart. All right, we got TJ. He says Orca. Okay. Hey, what's up, Nikki Page? Orca. Okay, Orca. I'm guessing this is a crypto. I guess. Let's see. I guess Gate.io is the new shitcoin exchange of choice for this cycle. Yeah, okay, interesting one here. Did have a pretty explosive rally, but I think you found your highs for a while. It's time to go find where that next potential high or low is. Anything above 3.25 is fine. Short term, more bias towards an upside or downside move here. I guess a little bit more towards the downside, but I wouldn't be betting on it. Like I wouldn't make bets off that. If I go to the 4 hour time frame, you are building up many drives of bullish divergence here, so perhaps I'm wrong on that. Perhaps one more rally towards like $5 and another lower high there. But again, just like most of these charts, these are range plays. It's going to be something like this, most likely for another week or two. That's what I feel a lot more convicted of. And, you know, by the time we get to the end of this week and maybe start of next week, that's at the point where I think I'll have a better idea of which way they're most likely to resolve. Of course, below 3.25, big fucking problems on this one. This one probably comes well below $2 at that point. And by the same token, you know, above the highs of this rally, which is not helpful again, 890. I'd be looking for this one to retest, you know, or move somewhere around like $13-14. But the weekly RSI does have the makings of a higher low in place. It's just we haven't gotten the low just yet. I do think that this one will move down towards $3.50 at some point. And that's where you'd probably expect that next higher low, if there is going to be a higher low. Start to fail below there, okay. Problems. All right. Oh man, here comes the caffeine. Mr. Jville 409 says BCB daily. Okay, BCB. All right. Blockchain bets, a new one for me. I haven't seen this one before. Or actually, sorry, that's not the right one. Okay, we'll go with Mexi, I guess. Again, not much history here to be going off of, man. If I did have to call it, it retests the lows of this range, somewhere around like 2.5 cents. Something like this. You know, goes blah, 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 blah. Bounces as well. I don't think it's going to break down from there just yet. Again, most of these things mostly going sideways, I suspect, within this range with maybe short-term downside on this one, perhaps. At that point, I'd be looking for a bounce, maybe even retest the range highs again, but not a whole hell of a lot to be going off of here. And for the history that we do have, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's just not as impressive as a lot of the other newer shitcoins that have been producing much more greater gains than this thing. So yeah. All right. Okay. Data Dan, let's look at fucking YM1. All right. I think I actually have this one on my list. No, you're looking at Dow Jones. YM futures. All right. What are we looking at here? I actually do want to see this one. A short-term toppy and probably does play back down to 37,000, but long-term bullish. You know, this one's just on higher low watch right here. Hidden bullish divergence, multiple drives on low volatility, already at the highs, basically already at new all-time highs. This one's continuing up into the right long-term. So the real question is, where does the next higher low come in around? Like I said, maybe around 37 even, but long term, the direction is up. And I think that's a good place for me to be leaving off on this video. Holy shit, man. My voice lasted the whole way through. Almost 2 hours long. Not bad. It's like old times again doing these long ass fucking streams, but they are fun as hell. Good to see a lot of the old faces here. Hopefully everyone's having a nice day. Disliked because of the burp. Well, I guess we'll just have to chalk that one up for Mr. Fedcoin. Again, guys, I had to stop the super chats a while ago, man. Okay, I'll do this last one, but seriously, no more. I do appreciate it, but I do need to stop here. Okay, Carbon browser versus Tether. Looks like a shitcoin, acts like a shitcoin. Actually has gone up more than a typical shitcoin, so not that bad. But again, like most things, it's a fucking range play, man. It's a fucking range play. This one in the more, God, it's right there in the fucking middle. Like no help on this one from indicators. This one actually I do think is probably more poised to test the top side of the range first, like 9 cents, maybe even 10 cents. Long term, very likely breaks out to the upside as well, but that's more long term. All right. That's where we're going to end. Thank you for that, Crypto Pack. Thank you for that, Mr. Filson, and Will Charles as well. Liked because of the burp, says Catacomb. I appreciate it. And Kendrick Camps, my fucking man. Good to see you as well, brother. Good to see you as well. And Reef Keepers. A lot of familiar faces here. Really glad to see. And like I said, we'll actually probably be back Friday. It's very possible, especially if especially if something interesting happens. I wouldn't hold my breath too much for that, but maybe by that point we'll see the bounce over here, and if the bounce is actually above 46.5, we'll have a lot of interesting things to talk about. But until then, kind of more of the same, I suspect. Sideways, something like this. Blah 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 blah. Resolution not this week, next week earliest, I think. With most likely a bounce first. Okay, all right. That's where we'll end it. As always, guys, I want to thank you for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure on this nice Tuesday morning. We might be back Friday. We'll see. Pending price action. And yeah, with that said, take care. Much love, and see you hopefully soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename it.